Former USA men's national team player Alexi Lalas and current soccer commentator stated that he thinks USA men's national team will win the World Cup within the next 20 years. Let's listen to what he had to say.
My answer, a definitive yes. I think in the next 20 years, because I think we will see massive new investment and growth in the game and in American players. Yeah, I am, and raise my hand. I am eternally optimistic when it comes to this U.S. team in general. Just whether it's now or anytime else, maybe to a fault. But it's not. I don't think that it's at the expense of being honest to you or to myself. It's not blind faith. It's not delusional. It's not Pollyanna or anything like that. I recognize the realities and the challenges of doing something like that, and history is against you, considering only a handful of teams have actually done it. And maybe it's, like I said before, maybe it's just simply being American, if you will, and believing that we can do things that people say haven't been done. So yes, that is my eternally optimistic belief that yes, in my lifetime, I would bet whatever it is that the U.S. men's team would win a World Cup.
So my honest take is this is a fairly reasonable one. And I know a lot of people are not going to like it for a variety of reasons. For starters, Alexi Lalas is a divisive figure in American soccer, some for very good reasons. His politics fucking suck. He is a Trumper and he sucks for that. And others for his soccer takes. And they don't like his soccer takes, normally actually for not quite as good reasons. And part of those reasons is he's pretty damn optimistic when it comes to American soccer and USA men's national team when it's popular and trendy to be anti-US soccer and anti-MLS on the internet. But I think he's correct about this. And something that a lot of people get wrong, like one of the most common critiques about the USA will win the World Cup argument is that they've been saying it since 1994. And here's the thing. That would be a valid argument if we haven't seen signs of progress. But we have. We've seen tons of signs of progress, and American soccer is in a completely night and day difference from what it was in the 90s. And to think 20, 30 years from now, if we even progress at the same rate we have since the 90s, it's going to be night and day difference from today. And here's the thing. The current USA men's national team, while we can talk about how they've underperformed in a few recent tournaments, the fact of the matter is the talent that they have, the teams that they're playing for in Europe, and also the overall standard of MLS now is something we have never seen at any time in mine or Alexi Lalas' lifetimes. And the reality is this. For this team, what could we expect in the next World Cup? Well, realistically, knockout rounds, quarterfinals, if we're being super, super optimistic, a semifinal. And on the super pessimistic side, it is not impossible we could fall out at the group stage. I just find that highly, highly unlikely. But what we really are going to see is this. We are going to see a new generation of American kids that soccer is close enough to the mainstream for them to take serious that we're going to have a much larger chunk of our genetic elite athlete gene pool taking soccer seriously and playing soccer. They are going to have a lifetime to where they don't even understand the idea of not having a real professional soccer league in America. They're going to grow up with real professional soccer in America all the time, and it's going to be just part of their life. And the same goes for the youth development programs. Youth soccer is a flourishing industry now in the United States of America, and being able to play it is no longer nearly as difficult as it was 20, 30 years from now ago. And it's going to be even easier 20, 30 years into the future. And here's the thing. The USA really is the best sporting country in the world. Our Olympic medal count is more than enough on that. But we also have the best professional sports leagues in the world. And our college sports system is probably the best developmental system for that transition from amateur youth athlete to the adult professional athlete of any system in the world when we look at all sports altogether. Not to mention the elephant in the room. USA women's national team proves that the soccer specific intricacies are not what we're lacking. Because if the soccer specific intricacies were what the Europeans and the South Americans had that we don't have, then they would be better than USA women's national team and they would have more World Cups and gold medals. In reality, USA women's national team has 4 World Cups and 5 Olympic gold medals. Better than anyone else, period. In fact, we have as many World Cups as Europe does for women's soccer. The difference between USA men's national team and USA women's national team is actually quite simple. For women's athletes, soccer is one of the top 2 participation sports, with basketball and soccer being probably number 2. So, we get a much larger selection of the elite athletes in our genetic gene pool for soccer. On the men's side, it's the 4th sport at best. So we're not getting a large chunk, but it looks like that will be changing in the future. All right, guys, tell me what you think in the comments below.